That was the Daily Wire partnered with you, right? And it's pretty great to have such a powerhouse be able to produce a film like this and partner with you, right? We only have about 30 seconds left, but that's pretty wonderful.
It was great. I've known Ben and the Daily Wire guys for about a year or two now, and the movie was not made with them, but when we were seeking distribution and not
triple matched and provide
Hi, I'm Jane King, and thank you for watching. This show is all about public, private, and blockchain companies. We bring you the innovators behind the companies making the headlines in that space. Some are sponsored, some are invited, all are curated and focused on telling you, the viewers, their story. Here we go. Simplicity Esports and Gaming Company is a North American-based esports organization. It was founded by Jed Kaplan, who is a minority owner of the Memphis Grizzlies, as well as the Swansea City of the English Champions League. So that is soccer. And with me is CEO Roman Franklin to tell us more about this company. And boy, are you in a hot area, esports. Tell me a little bit about the company, Roman.
Well, you referenced Jed already, so I'll give you the Jed explanation. He likes to tell folks that esports garnered a lot of attention, including his and ours as a company, in 2018 when the League of Legends World Finals had more viewers than the Super Bowl. Subsequently, Simplicity was established. The company set a couple of goals. First, to have the largest footprint of esports gaming centers in the U.S., and to own a League of Legends franchise with Riot Games. Both of those goals were accomplished by the end of 2020, so we're pretty excited about 2021.
Yeah, well, I'd say so, and I can imagine the pandemic has probably even accelerated your business a little bit as well. And I understand you made numerous acquisitions over the past year and a half or so. Can you tell me about those and how do those contribute to the company?
Absolutely. So in the fall of 2019, we acquired PlayLive Nation. PlayLive Nation was a franchisor of franchisee-owned gaming centers. The acquisition gave us the largest footprint of esports gaming centers in the U.S., albeit mostly owned by franchisees. Subsequently, with quite a bit of research, we also decided that in order to accomplish our franchise ownership goal, that Brazil was most likely the next region Riot Games would be franchising for League of Legends. In early 2020, we acquired the top-ranked League of Legends team in Brazil, Flamingo Esports. Our team continues to perform well, finished the first split of 2021 season in first place. And interestingly enough, we also finished the year 2020 on the list of the top 10 most tweeted about esports teams in the world. So as COVID-19 was discovered and began to cause concerns about public gatherings, we saw this as an opportunity to capitalize on disruptions that were occurring in commercial real estate. So we've made some additional acquisitions as a result of COVID disruption. In approximately the last year, we've acquired 14 esports gaming centers and now own and operate them as corporate gaming centers. After the acquisition, the financial performance from those gaming centers becomes consolidated and reported with our public company financials. What I'm most excited about, though, is the new leases we've been able to sign with landlords for the corporate gaming centers. The rent for those leases is calculated as a percentage of revenue. So we're very excited about those percentage rent leases.
Yeah, so you are the largest gaming center owner in North America now, right? After in 13 states, 30 centers in 13 states. So
that's correct.
How has that been in terms of, you got the brick and mortar? It sounds like you took advantage of a down market to expand there, but then also the digital. So you really have a nice hedge there, no matter what happens.
That's correct. That's correct. And so we feel that a large moat around our business comes from the brick and mortar, significant CapEx required to construct these locations and to establish a footprint the size of ours with percentage rent leases would be very difficult, time consuming, and have great CapEx requirements. So, in terms of current status today, in light of COVID, barring any further COVID-related shutdowns, it seems like the worst of the negative impact from COVID is behind us. We recently put out in a press release that of our corporate-owned centers, we now have 6 that are operating without restriction at all, 7 that are at 50% occupancy restriction, and another location that's at a 25% restriction. So soon we'll update the market regarding specific sales trends and trajectory of our recovery once we have a couple more months of data under our belt to establish that trend.
Now, you mentioned percentage rent leases. What is that? How does that work exactly?
So instead of a traditional fixed rent obligation, these percentage rent leases have rent calculated as a percentage of revenue instead of a fixed obligation. So this structure significantly reduces the expense profile, giving us greater confidence in the expected profitability of these corporate-owned centers.
Now, the Flamingo Esports brand in Brazil has shown an interest in EFTs or in NFTs. So how does that work?
Yeah, that's right. So we have an incredible fan base in Brazil, including hundreds of thousands of followers on Twitter. As a matter of fact, it's not uncommon for us to receive over 5,000 likes on a tweet or hundreds of thousands of views on a YouTube video that we post. These fans view NFTs as digital merchandise. They're non-fungible tokens, so they are essentially digital merchandise items, art creations that maybe capture a moment in the history of Flamingo Esports, maybe an artistic expression of a logo. So they've indicated on Twitter for us that they're interested in purchasing NFTs and would view them much like purchasing a jersey or a hat to support the team. So we're moving forward quickly with the development, the minting, the creation, the minting of NFTs so that we can provide that to the market, to our fan base.
Yeah, how interesting. So NFTs, Twitter, I mean, it really kind of feels like the future is where you're operating right now. So now you did have record revenue, record quarter that ended in February. Can you talk a little bit about March and April? How are those months looking?
So you're correct. We reported record revenue for the quarter ended February 28th. Since then, we've announced the acquisition and reopening of 2 more gaming centers, as well as an additional sponsorship and sub-licensing agreement for Flamingo Esports, our Brazilian subsidiary. So I can't comment right now on March and April revenues, but our fiscal year end is May 31st. And Nick Lau, who recently came on board as our CFO from NYSE-listed MGM Growth Properties, he's doing an incredible job and is working diligently to publish our financial results to the market as soon as possible when our fiscal year ends on May 31st.
Okay, very interesting. And I look forward to an update down later on this year as things start to reopen more, and best of luck.
Absolutely. Thank you, Jane.
Petproducts.com. Thousands of products. An Al Simon Wee Wee Pad Inventor Company.
Well, he's been called the king of Vegas sports gambling. And with me is the CEO of Winners Inc., Wayne Root. So, Wayne, great to meet you.
Hey, and let me correct you with one thing. I'm the CEO of VegasWinners, which is the subsidiary of the publicly traded company Winners Inc. But it's all meshed together as the same thing. The whole thing is headed in one direction and only one direction. Sports gambling is exploding. It's the new national pastime. It's ubiquitous. It's everywhere. It's been legalized by the Supreme Court. And we are right smack dab in the middle of this amazing, I call it a gold rush. It's like the gold rush of the 1800s. Everybody wants to bet on sports now, and we're the ones that give the advice, the research, the guidance, the information. It's all there from VegasWinners and our parent company, Winners Inc.
Okay, well, thank you for that clarification, because I know there's a kind of layers of corporations, so sometimes it gets a little lost in there. So you mentioned the Supreme Court decision. So that was a real game changer. Of course, you know, Nevada on the forefront of that. We saw New Jersey. Now I think, what, half the states have legalized?
So, you know, we're headed quickly for 30 states. By this fall, sports gambling should be legal in 30 states. Online gambling is the key to all of this. Almost everybody, Jane, bets online. State of New Jersey is the perfect model for what's happening in America. New Jersey, it was illegal to bet on sports until that decision in 2018. Nevada, where I live, Las Vegas, was legal sports betting for the last 70 years. And New Jersey comes along, and in 2 years, it now regularly passes Nevada with close to $1 billion a month in legal sports betting. And 90% or more is online betting. So nobody walks into an old, the old model, walk into a casino, walk into a sports book. Nobody does it anymore. It's all done online. And our company, Winners Inc. and VegasWinners, we provide the advice and the research and the data and the information all online. So it's a perfect marriage. It's all about online sports gambling. You sit in your home, you sit on your cell phone, your iPhone, your Android, and you make bets on football games or basketball games or baseball games or NASCAR or golf or Ultimate Fighting Championship, and you have yourself a great time. And it's not only an investment, it's like Wall Street investment merged perfectly with entertainment, because you don't get to watch your stocks and have a good time, but you can watch a 3-hour sporting event, and when it's over, because of sports gambling, if you win with our advice, you get paid to entertain yourself for 3 hours. It's really the most unique form of entertainment in the world.
Yeah. Well, let's back up a little bit. So tell me about your background, because you've got a very interesting kind of route that brought you to where you are now, no pun intended.
Yes, no pun intended. My route is a very interesting route for Wayne Root. So I'm an SOB, son of a butcher, son of a blue-collar butcher. And the great thing about my dad, the butcher, is he always said, anything is possible in America, anything. And I believed it. I bought into the American dream, wound up getting accepted at Columbia University, Ivy League. And from that point, everybody thought I'd become a lawyer or a doctor, but they didn't understand my goal was to be Jimmy the Greek. And it all started when I was 16 years old, Jane. And there was a story in the local newspaper, Mount Vernon, New York, on the Bronx borderline, very blue-collar town. And the story was Wayne Allen Root is the next Jimmy the Greek, the betting whiz kid. And I took that to heart, and I made that my goal in life. And by the time I was 26, going on 27 years old, I became one of the youngest anchormen in America on CNBC. And they found Jimmy the Greek. He had just been fired by CBS, and they hired him to be my partner on TV. So I went from a 16-year-old kid saying, I'm going to be Jimmy the Greek, America's #1 Vegas odds maker. And the next thing you know, I'm on TV with him. We're partners. And then he retires. They put him out to pasture, and it becomes my show. I replaced Jimmy the Greek. Fast forward to today, Jane. I believe I am Jimmy the Greek, except I'm Wayne the Jew. And I am Jimmy the Greek for America. I'm the guy who explain in simple terms, entertaining terms, sports gambling to America. And the difference is when Jimmy the Greek did it, it was all illegal. Now it's all legal. It's just like Wall Street, and it's fun.
Well, I love those stories, like how weird life can be and how if you really focus and will something, like it comes. So that was great.
If
Okay,
you believe it, you can make it happen.
that's right. Yeah, we just got to stick with it. So now, Wayne, tell me a little bit about Las Vegas Winners. How does it work? Is this an app that people download? Just take me through the whole process.
Yeah, well, I mean, there is an app under construction, but the main thing is the website, VegasWinners.com, VegasWinners.com. And you just go online. It's the most simple business in the world. I was in this business for 30 years, Jane. It's why the media called me the king of Vegas sports gambling and America's handicapper and America's odds maker and prince of prognosticators, all the names you could think of. I was called for 30 years when it was mostly illegal. And now it's all legal. And so this website, you go there, you point, you click, and you've got your information. You know, you want to make a bet on the Dallas Cowboys against the Washington Redskins, a very famous rivalry in the NFL. And you just point and click, and there's my pick. I take the Dallas Cowboys -3 points, always against the point spread. In other words, when you're betting on games, there's a point spread. Just like in golf, there's a handicap. That's why they call us sports handicappers. We're picking against the handicap. So one team's a 3-point favorite, a 4-point favorite, a 10-point favorite, and you have to decide, do you want the favorite or the underdog? You point, you click, you pay your money on your credit card, you got my pick. But there are many revenue streams, Jane, to our business. The revenue streams are selling our advice and research and guidance. Okay, that's number one. Number two is once you make the bet, once you get the pick from us, you're going to make the bet somewhere. We give you advertising from sports books all over the United States, legal sports books in each state that you're in. And so you point, you click, you go to that sports book. Well, guess what? They give us a fee for sending them customers. So really, in the long run, I believe, you know, and this has been my vision from the day I became the Jimmy the Greek of my generation. All the money is not in the picks, but rather the biggest revenue stream, the majority of the revenues for the next 20 years are going to be the gambling revenues that the sports book companies like FanDuel and DraftKings and Win and Caesars and MGM and BetMGM, BetFox, they need customers. We're a customer acquisition machine. And when I go on TV and I talk about sports gambling, thousands of people respond, and I send them all to you, the sports book, and you give me a fee for sending them to you. Well, that fee can add up to millions, tens of millions, hundreds of millions, eventually billions of dollars. They need us. And those are all billion-dollar companies. But without my customers and our database, they don't have any customers. They don't have any revenues. So we're a customer acquisition machine. So we have revenues from selling our picks. We have revenues from sending customers to sports books. We have revenues from advertising, mostly sports books, but anyone who wants to reach upscale men, any advertiser wants to reach, you know, a macho male audience, because that's sports gambling. And we also eventually will have Vegas trips and travel, because the president of my company is Howard Lefkowitz, and he was the guy that built Vegas.com from the first few desks into a $400 million a year company. He's a brilliant visionary and strategist, and I literally brought him on board to carry out my dream, my vision.
Okay, so finally, you mentioned picks. Do you have any picks for this upcoming football season, and how do you think it's going to look as we kind of emerge from the pandemic?
Well, my pick is not going to be a game because the football season's a ways away. There's no way to predict that. My pick is actually going to be that football is going to become all about gambling. You know, I've tried to tell this to people for 35 years that I've been in this business. It's no fun to sit and just watch a football game, yet millions of people do it every Sunday in the NFL, and every Monday Night Football, every Thursday Night Football. Millions do it, but guess what? Most people didn't realize most of them had to bet on the game. They were betting illegally with a bookmaker. Now that it's legal, there will be 30 million, 40 million, 50 million Americans betting, Jane, every week on various games. It makes watching a game so much fun. Think about watching a 3-hour game and you have $1,000 on it. When it's over, you're either minus $1,000 or you got money to go to a fantastic restaurant for the next 10 nights in a row, or take your wife out to dinner and a movie and a show. It's the greatest form of entertainment in the world. The NFL's ratings will explode once people can all make a bet, whether it's $10, $100, or $10,000, and sit in front of the TV and watch the game. This will be the biggest NFL season ever. They just expanded it into partnership with sports gambling, and they expanded the weeks from 16 to 17-week schedule. So there's actually an extra week of games, and that's an extra week of revenue for Vegas winners. So I'm excited.
I can tell. Well, best of luck to you. I mean, it's certainly an exciting industry to be in, and it feels like like you're right at the very beginning of this industry. It's going to have huge growth ahead. So thank you so much, Wayne, for joining us.
Thank you, Jane. VegasWinners.com is the website. Winners Inc., the parent company, ticker symbol WNRS. And yes, I'm excited.
PetProducts.com. Thousands of products. An Al Simon Wee Pad Inventor Company.
After a few quiet years, gold is regaining its luster in the economy, attracting positive press and increasing accumulation among investors. Here in the treasure state of Montana, mining has been a part of the economy for centuries, leaving a very small footprint and bringing thousands of well-paying jobs to its residents. These minerals are essential to everyday life and a great way to enhance one's investment portfolio.
People really don't understand anymore that, mining is essential for their daily lives. Everything they use, either you mine it or you grow it. It doesn't come from any other place. There's been a number of economic studies that have been done throughout the mining industry through the years. And for every mining job that's created, there's usually 5 to 6 other jobs that are created to support that mine that goes with it, from transportation to accounting to the chemistry of the minerals that are being produced to all of the products that come in. And most of the products that we buy are all local. The consulting, the engineering we use are all local. So all that feeds back into the state of the economy in Montana. For thousands of years, it's been a stable place to put your money and put your assets as you go through these troubled times. The stability of gold and what we're seeing now, as of this filming, over $1,900 an ounce is a very good sign for the gold industry. And there doesn't seem to be anything to stop this cycle from moving forward and staying very strong through the next few years.
There are many moving parts involved in working to develop an underground gold mine, from acquisition and development to production. With strong roots in exploration, Winston Gold is an emerging junior mining company focused on generating cash flow by advancing high-grade, low-cost mining opportunities into production.
It's always been our mission to put this business into production with free cash flow to move the business forward and then to expand gradually as we get the cash flow needs where we need to do. Conceptually, it was to be in the right area of the world, if you will. The United States is certainly where we pinpointed our area, and then to take it even a little more regionally to go into the mining states, if you will, that are mining friendly. They understand mining. We followed that up with numerous core drillings to add to the over 600 drill holes that had already been here from previous companies. Went through a full analysis of those cores into a geological model, and then built a financial model to show that we had robust financials even at much lower pricing than we see today. So it really is from the drill bit all the way through to production that we built this business on.
Located in an historic mining district just outside Helena, by using a low-tonnage mining model, Winston Gold is working to advance its high-grade asset into stages for a fraction of the exploration and capital costs.
We do core drilling. We do an analysis of that core. If we're getting good hits on the gold and we see good grade, then we build that into a geological model. From there, we can look at building a mine plan on the structure that we see underground, and then eventually take it into a financial economic model to see if it all makes sense economically, and we can raise the money then financially to go forward with. Then from there, you need a mill so that you can process the gold ore. You can separate the gold from the gangue material that comes out. We have that mill that's 35 miles away from here, and that goes through a gravity separation as well as a flotation process to get a final concentrate that we sell to the refineries.
Mineral exploration and development are essential to everyday life, and projects like these can lead to significant contributions to the American economy and workforce.
When you mine these small narrow vein mines, you've got to be confident on the ground structure, the mining method, as well as dilution, so that you're not putting a lot of the waste material into the gold ore and further diluting it and raising your costs to go with it. So it's extremely important that you understand it from the geologists to the mining engineers to the surveyors, and then most importantly to the frontline workers, the miners who have the experience to do it in a very safe and environmentally effective way. We've got a good mine in a right location in a mining-friendly state. We're environmentally permitted, and we have a mill. So we have the complete process fully permitted and underway to produce the first gold. As we speak today, we're just starting up with. So we've got it from one end to the other. It is the American dream to build one of these from the bottom up. We're certainly doing that right now, and we want everybody to prosper as we go forward.
Learn more today about the only hard rock gold producer in Montana, Winston Gold. Drill for structure, mine for gold. For more information, visit winstongoldmining.com today.
Petproducts.com. Thousands of products. An Al Simon Wee Wee Pad Inventor Company.
Solar Integrated Roofing Corporation is continuing to expand and has a lot of news so far in 2021. So with me, CEO David Massey, to update us on all this. And David, you have been a very busy guy this year, I know. Let's start with one of the big things, and that's the uplisting. Where does that stand?
The uplist to the QB is it's on track. The little holdups we have is the audit pieces that we need to get for the various entities that we've acquired. It's on track, and we're looking at a new auditor to help speed up the process, and that's we're in the process of doing that now. But it's right on track. We think that we should have the uplist completed by the end of May at the latest.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and that would be uplisting to the
QB, OTC QB.
Okay, all right. So we'll look for that. And then, so you mentioned the audit. So that's, you hope to get that moving along a little faster, it sounds like.
Well, it's kind of two pieces. To get to the QB, we have to get the audit done for Cornerstone, and we have to get the audit done for the year-end for SIRC, which they're working on now. And then to get the Form 10 filed, I don't know if you saw the press today, but we pulled the Form 10 just this week because we wouldn't have the other audits done in time to get the Form 10 completed. So we pulled the Form 10. Our plan is to put the auditors in place, get new acquisitions that we're looking at teed up, get them audited, and then get everything uplisted at one time. Have the Form 10 filed at one time with all the additional companies that we're looking at.
Okay. Well, okay, that sounds complicated, but I know you have to go through all this paperwork. And you mentioned Cornerstone. Yeah. Oh my goodness. I can't imagine all the regulations involved. You mentioned Cornerstone. I know that's a recent acquisition for you. It allowed you to get involved, especially in the East Coast. It was a South Carolina-based company. How do you see any more acquisitions, and what kind of is your strategy with that?
I kind of look at this as a big puzzle, and we're putting together a puzzle in different pieces. And as you know, we're really excited about the EV world, and we have an acquisition I think we're pretty close on in the EV world. That's going to be a major piece. We have another roofing/solar company in Texas that we really like a lot. That I think we're working through some details, and then we have something I'm really excited about. We have a local solar company in San Diego that just has a dynamite team, unbelievable talent that we're working on as well. So if we get those three done, we'll literally double in size in less than 60 days, which is
my goodness. Okay,
which we just doubled in size in January. Could be another step, and at that point there we'll have a lot of pieces covered, a lot of the right people in place as far as the team goes, and then we're going to sit back, get some things going, and work on some inner workings of the company, at least me, because my current job now is acquisitions and meeting with the guys and putting those pieces in place. Okay.
Well, you've got a lot on your plate, and you're certainly in a hot industry. I mean, it feels like if now's the time to kind of get big and grow, this is a good time to do that, it feels like. So, and I'm sure you agree with that. So thank you, David.
Yes, I
I know you're limited what you can say. Thank you so much for coming with the update, and I look forward to another one as these things progress throughout the year.
Hey, Jane, it sounds good. Thanks so much.
Petproducts.com. Thousands of products. An Al Simon Wee Wee Pad Inventor Company.
SoMee is a social media site that actually helps content creators make their own money. And so with me to explain a little bit more about his partnership or relationship with SoMee is advertising executive Alan Case. Alan, great to have you here. I guess let's just start with, I know you've had a long history. You want to give me a little bit, you were in the advertising industry for how long? And you were really quite well known in that industry. Can you give me some history of your background?
Okay, well, I started in advertising at the age of 3. My father was a controller of gray advertising, and he used to bring me in to work, and I would hang out in the bullpen where the artists are, and I would look over their shoulder and see what they were doing. And I think my most vivid memory is an illustrator painting the Campbell's kids on a roller coaster.
So what then brought you to SoMee, and how are you taking your knowledge and experience with advertising to this new medium?
Sure. Actually, it was my agent that connected me to SoMee. It looked very interesting. I am fortunate enough being independent to work with people I like on products I like. And Chris Kramer and SoMee, they met those qualifications. Very, very nice, very bright young man. The idea he had, I thought was great, was new, and useful to a lot of people on both sides of the fence, both companies, advertisers, and customers.
Mm-hmm. Well, and that kind of, so let's bring this full circle. So you're taking your years to SoMee, your years of experience, right. You're helping entrepreneurs market themselves on SoMee. Am I understanding how this all works?
Yeah, pretty much. My agency, Core K & Partners, was founded in 1982 as the Agency for Entrepreneurs. We were the first of its kind, and we thought it was kind of a good idea. And the week we opened, Time magazine on the cover said, "The Entrepreneur, the Future of American Business." So my partner, Lois Corey, and I looked at each other and said, I guess we guessed right. And then we found that the idea had one tiny flaw, and that is that entrepreneurs don't have any money. So we said, okay, now what? So we did mid-course correction and repositioned ourselves as the agency for entrepreneurs and companies with the entrepreneurial spirit. And within not too long a time, we picked up IBM as well as several other entrepreneurial companies. If you ask me who they are, ask me who they are.
Who are they?
Well, some include Virgin Atlantic Airways, Wynn Resorts, Comedy Central, Celebrity Cruises, and then along with them, there were other companies that were not startups, but were kind of needed a little kick in the ads, as you might say, like Stuart Weitzman, who, when we started working with him, he had just opened his flagship store on Madison Avenue. And we introduced that, and that led to us getting his national account, which he didn't have before. And we did a campaign that lasted for 8 years, A Little Obsessed with Shoes, which kind of whimsical, showed the world through the eyes of Stuart Weitzman, where everything looked like a shoe in some way.
I remember that campaign, actually. And you've done some other ones too, Honda. I mean, there's some famous ones I think people will recognize. You want to talk a little bit about those?
Oh, sure. Some of the other campaigns that have some notoriety were the Honda, the car that sells itself. That also that ran for 7 years until the dealer group, the Northeast Dealer Group, kind of dissolved, and the campaign hung in all that time. The let's see, Virgin. The line was "Take us for all we got." We got the Virgin account before, when Richard Branson had leased an airplane, 747, and didn't have the right to fly it. And just one day we got a knock on our door, and we opened the door, and David Tate, who was their executive vice president, said, "Hello, I'm an airline." And we picked up that business. That was kind of cool, because it didn't even cost us a cab ride. And let's see, where should I go on to? Celebrity Cruises, exceeding expectations. They were the first mega luxury cruise ship. We broke into that industry at the worst time of all, right in the height of a depression. If you were Republican, you called it a depression. If you were Democrat, you called it a recession. But in any case, we got them off to a very good start, and had them also for 7 years until they were bought by RTCL. And we were kind of good at that, building up companies to the point where they get sold. So we decided to say that actually our goal was to make ourselves obsolete.
Okay. Well, I think after listening to this, you should write a book at some point. Once you kind of help these entrepreneurs launch on SoMee, because those are fascinating stories that I think so many people could relate.
Thank you. In fact, I have. I'm just putting it in order. It's 100 pages of anecdotes. It's volume 1.
Yeah. That's really, you should do that. It's really interesting. Okay, so let's talk about SoMee and the project you're working on now, and how can you help entrepreneurs on SoMee? Okay,
this is what Chris came up with was a really cool idea. SoMee is kind of like a dating site for customers and companies. And what he did was he created a platform where advertisers can post their banner ads, ones that they already have. They have no work to do except just put them on their computer and press send. And Chris puts them on kind of a menu page, and consumers will look and say, hey, this looks cool, or this looks sexy, or this looks great. Oh, I know this product. I want to find out more about it. They just click, and it takes them right to the company's website, and they learn more about the product. And there is also a form that they can fill out if they want to, be a representative of a company of sorts. It's like, there are so many people out there that are plugging companies and products and getting paid for it. And so many other people do the same thing naturally in their social media. So this is a case where they could actually get money for doing what they do normally.
Right. Well, and it makes sense. And they need to market like any business does. So makes sense. So, and they can just, those entrepreneurs on SoMee can just go to the SoMee site and connect with you there, right?
Absolutely, yeah. Or they can call me direct if they want, and it's 917-699-2672, and I'll be there to answer the phone. If not, my answer machine usually works. Sometimes it has a mind of its own. Or they could email me at Allen, ALLEN, at allenk.us.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you. It's great to meet you. And I want you to come back when you get that book written.
Okay, terrific. Nice to see you.
Okay.
Okay, anytime.
Bye-bye.
Petproducts.com. Thousands of products. An Al Simon Wee Wee Pad Inventor Company.
Healixa CEO Ian Parker is back with us to talk about progress that the company has made. So Ian, great to have you back. And I guess just tell us, I mean, things seem to be picking up pace with some of your business initiatives lately.
Yes, thank you for having us back. Absolutely. The most exciting updates we have right now is that this incredible care ecosystem that we built is now going from pilot to rollout. So we currently are finalizing testing in Dallas right now with a globally recognized tech-enabled last mile application. And once we finalize this next round of testing, perhaps in the next week or two, we'll be ready to start the rollout of the digital pharmacy application to select metropolitan areas and expand into the entire nation over time. Keep in mind, you know, I think one of the important points here is that this is one of the cornerstones of the entire care ecosystem. And once you combine that with the virtual care platform that allows doctors to connect to the patients virtually, and you now take the remote patient monitoring piece, which allows us to take the vital signs directly from the camera on your phone, you now have an entire chain of care in one complete technology stack.
Wow. And I've talked to you for a year or so, and I mean, I know what it's taken to get to this point. So I'm excited for you. Yeah. So it's great. So, okay. So once the rollout begins, then what next? Like what are the next steps for the company?
Yeah. So I think one of the things I would point to here is, as you probably remember, last year we signed an understanding with a healthcare benefits company that has access to about 3.5 million lives. As we move from pilot to rollout, we now start the process of beginning to convert those lives from a fragmented care environment to a seamless, complete chain of care platform. Just to sort of put that in perspective as to what that means to a health tech company like ourselves, if you look at Live On Go, for example, pre-Teladoc merger, the value of that, their value on the public markets was about $10 billion. They had approximately 320,000 lives in their platform. So that should help give people some perspective as to what those lives mean in the system. As we set up, to convert those lives, what's going to happen is you're going to see us quickly surpass a lot of our smaller competitors, and we're going to put ourselves on a trajectory to start to catch some of our larger competitors. And that is, part of how we've sort of gone methodically through building shareholder value here.
Now, I also saw there was a press release about a newly formed medical advisory committee that is also helping to grow the business. So tell me about that.
Yes. So we've been referring to this as our Justice League of healthcare professionals. I am a comic fan, as you can see. Understand that these professionals have been around the company for some time, so we're formalizing this right now. They've been sort of operating in stealth mode up until this point. These are globally recognized healthcare experts. In order to build a platform this sophisticated and this robust, we needed to listen to the best in the healthcare community and make sure that we married them up to the top engineers. So if you look at the way the platform has been built, it's been built by top engineers, and at the same time, it's been designed and informed by healthcare superstars. We're going to start introducing these healthcare professionals to the market one by one, because quite frankly, each one of them deserves their own spotlight. They are an incredible group of people, and we really look forward to introducing them. I think that's also going to help the market understand how this was created and how we're going to execute on this incredibly robust platform.
So Leslie, you mentioned the engineers. Let's talk about the tech platform. So I kind of explained from the user point of view, how will all of that work?
So you have virtual care, which is the way the doctors connect to the patients virtually. What we've done is we've combined that with remote patient monitoring. So now it's a touchless system where the user can get on the phone, they can look at the camera, and now those vital signs are being instantly transmitted back to the healthcare professional, to the clinician on the other side. That clinician can now prescribe therapies to them, and because of the fact that we have the remote patient monitoring piece, because of that, we can now expand the amount of therapies that we can prescribe virtually. So that allows us to rapidly get those therapies from the digital pharmacy to the patient. So if you look at the way that would operate, patient sees the doctor then takes the vital signs, diagnoses the issue, and then prescribes the medication. We bring it directly to your door. You now have your therapies when you need them, where you need them. Okay.
Anything you'd like to add?
I think the only thing I would like to add is that as we introduce these professionals that we're bringing onto the committee, I just want to say thank you to them for all the help that they provided, all the insight they provided, all the guidance they provided over time to help us build this really robust platform.
Yeah. Well, and I was going to say, Ian, let's have some of them on for an interview. Once you're ready to make that public, I think that'd be great to hear from them.
Absolutely. I think having a panel on would be fantastic, and they would be certainly open to it.
Good idea. Let's do it. So, all right. Thank you so much, Ian, for the update.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Petproducts.com. Thousands of products. An Al Simon Wee Pad Inventor Company.
Grapefruit is launching a new e-commerce store that offers a nationwide one-stop shop for THC-free, hemp-derived CBD topical creams. And with me is the CEO of Grapefruit, Bradley Urist. Welcome, Bradley.
Thank you for hosting.
Yes. No, great to meet you. And can you tell me about Grapefruit?
Yes, we are a fully integrated cannabis company as well as a hemp company in California. We have a full distribution and manufacturing license in Southern California, and we're really focused on making innovative and novel products.
Mm-hmm. And so you launched the online store this week, right?
Yes, yeah, we launched it actually this morning. So
my goodness. Okay, what was that like, building that e-commerce site?
Yeah, we were really being mindful. So we had a lot of ways to integrate, and we're most proud of our affiliate program. So now other people that are selling CBD products have the ability now to sign up and be one of our affiliates.
Uh-huh. Okay, so and then how does that work? So they can just contact you through the site?
Yeah, so they look on our website, hourglassonlinestore.com, and essentially they can go on, they can sign up as an affiliate. And then they can receive commissions for every time they generate a sale through their own either their own website or their own marketing channel.
Oh, interesting.
So we felt like that'll kind of get the brand out there and get everybody super excited about promoting the product as well.
Okay, so that is a nice little segue into the product. So this is a topical cream that I talked about. Tell me about the product.
Correct. So what we've done is we've implemented a technology that increases the bioavailability of CBD topically. So what we essentially do is we encapsulate the CBD molecule or the THC molecule, depending on which product that we're going to be manufacturing that particular day. And it essentially, you rub it on your skin, and it embeds into either the pores of your skin or the follicles. And over time, so it's also a time release. So over time, it releases into your body and provides, the holistic benefits of cannabinoids.
Well, and I know the executive producer of our show, Vince Caruso, has been sharing it with people, and he says people love it. So, yeah. So, and right now you're selling the cream and flower products just across California. So this is like an expansion nationwide.
Yeah, that's accurate. So right now we're able to sell the CBD only version across pretty much the United States and in some countries internationally. But as far as our THC products, yes, we're in California only. And of course, due to the current restrictions on distributing THC, right now we're in the state of California selling high-end flowers and our CBD in our topical products.
Okay. And what is the website?
Our website is hourglassonlinestore.com.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
So you can go there and
check it out.
Kind of browse around, check out all the products. And well, congratulations on launching the website. I mean, that must have been a major undertaking. So congratulations for getting that done and best of luck.
Yeah, we're super excited.
Thank you, Bradley.
Thank you.
Petproducts.com. Thousands of products. An Al Simon Wee Wee Pad Inventor Company.
Hermesus is a new cryptocurrency exchange. And with me is the CEO, Milton Frazier, and also Managing Director, Colin Breeze, to explain what is behind Hermesus. First of all, I'm intrigued, Milton, by the name. So as soon as I read it, I was like, this has got to be a Greek god of some sort. So tell me about the name. Where did it come from? Why did you choose the name Hermesus?
Sure. So Hermes is the god of commerce and mercantilism. And Hermesus is just basically Hermes in the U.S. It is Hermes U.S., and that's the name of our company. And we are a platform for all of the cryptocurrency needs that are U.S. compliant and follow legal compliance.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And then, so there are a lot of crypto exchanges kind of popping up out there. I mean, why do we need another one? What makes Hermesus unique?
Sure. Colin?
Yeah, that's kind of like asking General Motors whether they should build cars, given that Ford exists. But in our view, the United States is built on competition, and we believe competition is good. Moreover, different exchanges offer their different services to customers in different types. But Hermesus is built with active U.S. traders in mind, both institutions and individuals, and we offer competitive solutions with high speed, low cost, and built-in custody solution.
Mm-hmm. Besides, if Coinbase and Kraken were doing things properly, if they could service their users and the users didn't have to wait, for 5 or 7 days to get a response, and if their platforms weren't slow and they were efficient and effective and low cost, then we wouldn't exist.
Interesting.
There'd be no need for us.
So, Colin, explain how you provide customer service that clients cannot find on the other big exchanges.
So our vision is to serve clients who are new to crypto, as well as experienced individual and institutional traders. These are people who maybe can't navigate a complex user interface or having difficulty getting customer support from the major exchanges. And they're folks who want to receive a high quality service at the right price.
Well, and that is kind of a problem is customer service, because I feel like there's so many people out there that don't understand the crypto world yet, and they kind of want to learn, but they're a little scared. And if they could have somebody that would help them through the whole process, I think it might be quicker to mainstream adoption. So, okay. So, Milton, also weigh in a little bit on the timing of this. Is it a good time? We've seen crypto be very interesting over the past year. I mean, how do you see the timing of all this?
I think the timing is perfect, actually. I think the regulatory market is in for some changes. I think the Commerce Department and the SEC are really taking a good look at cryptocurrency, as we should be. This market needs to be transparent. So it's really perfect time for us to really step in. And despite the 300 plus exchanges outside the US, it's a great time for us to step in and really show people what a low cost, great exchange and platform looks like. And again, if we had, operators like Coinbase and Kraken that were smooth and flawless and transparent, then again, there would be no need for our existence. But because we've seen the problems in the marketplace, that's why we came to be.
Okay. So I want you both to weigh in on this. Colin, we'll start with you. I mean, short-term goals, long-term goals for Hermesus.
Sure. Let me grab that. So besides taking market share and revenue from dominant players like our rivals, Coinbase and Kraken, we expect to continue to iterate our technology, onboard new traders, provide our users with an unparalleled service offering, including compensating our market makers for their trading activity. We're excited about those offerings, and we think they differentiate us in the market. So we have no issue taking on the giants. We have no issue taking on the competition. Yes, our competitors have done public offerings and are planning to do public offerings. We think our timing is good, and in the short to medium term, we expect to be right there along with it.
Okay. Anything to add to that, Milton?
No, I totally agree.
Okay. So what about, Bitcoin has hit record highs. I mean, for a while it was doing that every day. Ethereum as well. Of course, NFTs have gotten a ton of attention this year. What's your opinion of NFTs and then the whole crypto space?
Well, our platform is designed to really apply the technologies as we see fit and as users want to use them. We really believe there's a democratization of commodities and of securities that's going on. If you take a look at what happened with GameStop and Robinhood, we believe this is the perfect time. And if people want to invest in NFTs, even though somebody might think they're a fad, we think there might be some value, and we want to provide that for our users and traders that want to see value.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. We're building an NFT marketplace, which will be part of the Hermesus platform, which we're launching. That aspect we're launching this summer. We see this as a major advantage for us, as we can use our NFT marketplace to generate additional value-added services for our valued customers, while our competitors are slower to adapt and adopt new directions owing to their size and legacy investments.
Mm-hmm. Now, it certainly feels like the financial world is changing in really tectonic ways. So, and I think blockchain and crypto has a lot to do with that. So, Milton, let's wrap it up with you. Who are your clients? And if somebody is interested in finding out more about Hermesus, where can they go?
Sure. So again, let me wrap it up with Hermesus, Hermes US. Just Google that name and you'll find us. And our clients are small to medium people, individuals, and large-sized traders that really want to have a toolbox and a platform that services their needs at a low-cost and efficient manner.
Okay, great. Well, thank you so much. Best of luck, and let's do an update in a few months as you ramp up and start to hit your short-term goals.
Sure.
Thank you.
Me too. We look forward to it. Thank you.
Closed captioning brought to you by Pray.com, the #1 app for daily prayer and bedtime Bible stories.
Bring light to your day. Strengthen your spirit. Download Pray.com right now, the #1 app for daily prayer.
O'er the land of the free and the home of
An active lifestyle means you never stop moving.